This here is the SD3, the Shane Dorian model, and this is actually one of Shane's personal boards. And this is a little 6.0, 18 1/8, 2 1/8, which is pretty much his standard size. And this is the board that Shane and I have been working on for ever since he's been riding for me, which is quite a few years now. And it's a board, a design that we're constantly upgrading. I'd say that this board gets upgraded once every week, once every 2 weeks. And so it's a constantly evolving. There's no set design because we're always employing something new in it. Now Shane always rides something, if it's new, before we actually release to the public, so that we don't, you know, if it's a real experimental thing, we don't want to have people be our guinea pigs, customers. But Shane likes pretty simple stuff. It's not anything real complex. And he's got a medium amount of rocker, not a super low rocker, not real low rocker, but it does have a real low entry, so it catches waves quite easy. Very soft rail up in this portion up in here, which really allows him to just get crazy on the board and never dig up front. It's got kind of a roundish little area up in here, a V kind of area for Rios when he comes down from airs or whatever. He doesn't plonk down, but he kind of eases back into the wave and continues on. Very forgiving. Shane likes to have a board that we call his rails. He named the rails stupid rails. And so he likes what he calls stupid rails. And that means that the board is very forgiving and he can do really stupid things and make them. And he just likes to always be on the edge, sort of over the other side of almost out of control most of the time. It's got a nice little double concave right between the fins. It's a real lot of concave centered right behind his front foot. So it's pretty much of a bit of a back foot and front foot kind of a balance on the board. He's not real. He kind of goes between the two. You wouldn't call him a front foot or a back foot surfer, but maybe a little bit more emphasis on his back. And that's just got a nice little, this one has a little concave route to the back. Sometimes it'll be flat, sometimes a V, but they have we developed that sort of that straight up and down back end from here around the back end, where it's kind of a straight up and down shoulder back here that provides super release. It's just really quick off the back. And all his boards, one thing he likes is there's a slight, very subtle bump, a bump wing or whatever you call it, right in front of the fins, and that provides a very subtle pivot point where it's just something he can feel it coming, and it doesn't overpower him. It's not strong like the Stingray or some other models. It's very subtle. Shane is a very smooth surfer, sometimes so smooth that he makes things look way too easy, and so he likes to kind of spice up the board with a little bit of an angular approach. That's what that does, and kind of makes what he does, you know, makes a little bit of a corner and edgy look, which he prefers, than being so smooth he might put you to sleep if you're watching him. And he likes a very, nice little domey deck, small rail, but very soft, and just a real pleasing outline, not too pointed on either end, and just a very all-around good riding, easy to ride board, because he doesn't like to have specialized boards. He likes to have a board he can ride just about any conditions. So like I say, this board will always be changing and always improving.